Last night, before church started, I was sitting in about where I normally sit, in the church pews up front in the middle. About 1, 2, 3. Anyway, I was just doing Steven Brundage's cool trick solves, and Ryan Foltz came over and said, "Is that a trick cube?" I go, "Huh? Is that a trick cube?" Then I heard him. Then and I said, "Oh, no, but I mean there is trick. There are trick cubes, Rubik's cubes, but this is not a trick cube. This is pure sleight of hand. Steven Brundage. I have his lecture video. You can use any Rubik's cube." And he said, "If I mix it, can you solve it?" Yeah. So he mixed it, and I solved it, and he was really impressed. And then after church service, I went over where his son Ira Foltz and his daughters and his wife Mary Foltz. I've shown them the behind the back solve. That's the one I didn't show them. So I said, "See it? It's mixed, right?" And then I solved it behind my back, showed my hand empty, showed and then showed my other hand. I came around and showed the cube in my hand. And then I did the instant or toss-up solve, either way you call it. And then I did the imagination solve. Imagine it's 20 moves away, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then I said, pick a color, any color. I was doing the same stuff that I was doing to Ryan Foltz before church service. So I did the same thing to his children and his wife, the same thing. When Ryan Foltz, I told him pick color, he said pick green, and he showed it. He saw the green color that he picked magically got solved, and then I showed him the whole thing was solved. And then when I did it over with his family, I said, pick a color. And one of his daughters said blue. So I gradually made blue appear and then showed the whole cube. About that time, another kid, he looked about 10 years old, and he said he can solve the cube in so many seconds, like, I don't know, he said something like, I don't know, I forgot how many, so many points, so many seconds, like 3.4 seconds or something. And Ryan Foltz said, "Nah, it'll probably take you about 5 minutes. Here, Bill, mix the cube up real good." And I go, "Okay." So I mix it really good, because before he did, they mixed it up for me, and I solved it. It took me a little longer compared to when Ryan Foltz mixed it, because the finale pattern takes a little longer to solve, but I got it solved. But anyway, then I mixed it up for the kid that said he could do it pretty good. So I mixed it good, and we all watched him solve it just about fast as I solved it, but I could tell he was doing a different pattern. And I told Ryan Foltz and everyone that my best time in the 1980s was 1 minute and 12 seconds. I haven't been timed in this year 2023, but I have gotten faster, because in the 1980s it was 1 minute and 12 seconds. I found ways to cut my solving time. I told Ryan that before church service, and then I told him and his family together that. And while the kid was solving it, I was saying that when you're solving it, one thing we all got to watch out for, if you're solving it and a piece falls out or a corner, then after you get it solved, you got to put those corners and pieces, or a different corner and piece. And the kid that was solving it knew about that too. He said, "Yeah, you're right. That if you do that, you got to do that." He said he's got a magnetic cube. It's a Gaines cube. I said, "Oh, wow, you got one of those expensive ones. That's good." Well, I just got a regular Erno Rubik's cube. Because the lecture video of Steven Brundage, I can solve any kind of Rubik's cube. Anyway, the boy got it done just right. He solved it, and he had it solved. And this is after he got it solved, he had it done. I could tell he had a different pattern because he was solving it a different way. I can look and tell that compared to my way of doing it, that I know that it's a different pattern. He did a different way, but he solved it about the same time I did, because it didn't take him long to solve it, and it didn't take long me to solve it. And I said, "What's that kid's name?" And Ryan Foltz said, "I don't know." And then his kids said, Zander. I couldn't make it out because people were talking in the background, and which is good. Nothing wrong with that. It's just my hearing. If there's sound in the background, even if there's a jet flying in the background, I can't make out what someone's saying in front of me. So the kid said something, Zander, and then Ryan replied back to me, Zander Field. Oh, Zander Field? Okay. Anyway, Zander Field, okay. Well, he's good. He solved it about the same time I did. About that time, Miss Story said, "Are you ready to go?" "Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go." If I can run into him, I'll hand him the patterns to Steven Brundage thing, because he solves this pretty good. He probably don't know about the Steven Brundage stuff. He just knows how to solve the cube. He's got a Gaines cube. Anyway, I thought I'd just fill y'all in on that. And the missionary guy, shook hands with him. He did a good message, and the Spanish guy that helped Pastor Marvin Tobin and Sandy Tobin's Spanish class, he did a good interpretation into English in the Bible using his tablet. Because the guy, he speaks pretty good English, but when he needed Bible verses, he's probably got his own Spanish Bible, and he's more Spanish than English, but he speaks pretty good English. Anyway, and Pastor Asher let us know that they got the live stream up and running, a new server, and we got fiber optics, and it should be running even much better and smoother now. I let everybody on social media know that, so that they can know that it's now working really good now. It doesn't have the hiccups. I even let my mom know, and my sister Cheryl know, and all them, and my niece Bobby and them. There's another kid in our church. I ain't watched him solve it, but I believe he can solve it. If Brandon Tarkatan says that a guy named Matt can solve the cube, I believe it. And he didn't know about the trick solves. He watched me solve that thing in a matter of seconds, and his mouth went. Everybody that watched me do the trick solves, Steven Brundage style, they go, "Wow, that's amazing." Ryan Foltz and his children, they were like speechless. And at the churchwide picnic, the girls and even Josh Wager's mom, Amy, is like, "Man, man, I see this stuff on TV, and now I'm seeing it live. Ah! And one girl said, hey, I got a Rubik's Cube, and I don't even know how to solve it. But you solve it. You can solve it even faster. And then Josh Wager met me in the foyer and said, oh, my daughter is saying, man, Bill, he sure knows everything about that Rubik's Cube. And I said, thanks, Josh, for letting me know that. I can't seem to get this to be up higher. There's got to be a way to make this work. Let me try this. That's up higher. Use the Rubik stand on top of the cards. Maybe that'll do it. Kinda. No, that won't work. It usually works, but it don't. I gotta find something that'll balance this. Put a whole bunch of DVDs. That ought to do it. On top of a cards. Hold on, folks. I know what I'm doing. I just gotta do it. There. Now that should be way high enough to do what I want to do. Okay. I move this thing over. There. Now I can do this. I say I did this. I did this. I showed Ryan, I said, Steven Brundage said, you'll find ways to mix it to even more in my own style. And so I said, this is my mix. Well, let me do this again. Alright. I went like this. I said, that's the Steven Brundage routine, and then here's my routine. And then I can spin it. And then I go. Well, I know what I'm looking for. I can do it fast. It's just, it takes me a while with that. Anyway, this is about how much time it took me to solve this. But I didn't get caught, and then I showed him, and he was like, man, that's amazing. I said, yeah. I said, no, here's another one. The imagination solved. I said, see, it's mixed this way. Imagine it 20 moves away, 5 moves away, 3, 2, 1. He was impressed. And then, what else did I do? I said, pick a color on here. And he said green. Green? Okay. Green. I said, see the green? Watch. Slowly your color comes into view. He was like, man, how'd you do that? And I showed the whole thing. He goes, huh? And he was like, wow, how'd you do that? And then I did this again, but I did a short version. I said, you see it all mixed? And he goes, yeah. He goes, man, that's good. I didn't get a chance to do the behind the back thing, but after church I did all of these routines, and then I had it mixed. I went like this. I said to Ira Foltz and his two sisters. I think it's 2 sisters. Anyway, and their mom, Mary Foltz. Then Ryan Foltz was watching me because he didn't see this part. I didn't see it, and I went like this. I I was doing this standing up. And I said, see, my hand's empty. Look, it's solved. And they were just looking at it like, huh? It's like, what just happened? I said, well, okay, here, I'll do this. About that time, Mary Foltz said, well, can I mix it? I said, yeah, but I can mix it too. And then I can spin it. I couldn't spin it real good. Sometimes I can spin it good, but anyway, I said, well, anyway, I'll do it. I'll mix it some more. And then I just like that. And then I did the imagination soul. And I said, see, it's mixed. I said, imagine it 20 moves away, 5 moves away, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I did the, what else did I do? I said, pick a color. And that's when one of the girl, Ryan Foltz and Marie Foltz, one of their daughters, said blue. I said, blue? Okay. So I did blue. I mixed it up. I said, you see that? Watch as your color that you pick comes into view. And they go, oh, that's neat. And then I showed it. And then the kid, at the time, I didn't know his name was Zander Field, he said he can solve it. So he mentioned he can do it in so many seconds. And Ryan Foltz said, you can't do it so many, whatever. So I said, well, actually, Ryan, my best time in 1980 is 1 minute and 12 seconds, but I've learned patterns to cut my solving time. And kids today, even Steven Brundage, he teaches them with the lecture video of trick solves. He actually can solve it. His best time is in 15 seconds. And there's some that does it in like 1 millisecond something. About the time the kid that's going to solve the cube mentioned, yeah, there's some people who do stuff like that. Anyway, and Ryan's timed him on his watch, and he said, you'll probably get done in 5 minutes. Here, Bill, mix the cube up. So I mixed it up, and we watched the kid solve it, and I could tell he was doing a different pattern. And eventually he got it solved. And when he got it solved, Ryan Foltz said, yeah, you did about what, like you said. And I said, he solved about just as fast as I did. But I could tell it was a different pattern. Because he was solving it different, but he got it solved. And then the kid left. About time, Miss Story said, are you ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready to go. And I was saying, what's that kid's name? And Ryan said, I don't know. And one of his daughters said, Zander, I couldn't make it out, but I thought he was Zander Field. Anyway, Ryan replied back to me, Zander Field. So, and now I know Zander Field can solve the cube, and Brandon Tarkinen introduced me to a guy named Matt. I don't know his last name, but he can solve the cube. And Pastor Brown, when I was teaching him during the exchange before we started, he came over and was intrigued about it. He said his wife has got the Rubik's Cube, and I showed him all the patterns and showed him how regular patterns on the cube, checkerboard, and 6 boxes and 4 crosses and 2 sides done and all that stuff. And then I showed him a lot of, before that I showed him the trick solve, Steven Brundage, and he was really impressed. And he even said, when I told him that Steven Brundage can have it mixed and toss it and catch it in his hand, or let the spectator or the judges catch it in their hands, it'll be solved. He was really impressed. He's like, wow, I said, yeah, it is. But I can't toss it like a juggler can. I mean, I can juggle, but I never did learn that pattern thing. So I just improvise. I just have it mixed, mix it, show that it's mixed, and then I just do it this way. I show my hands empty, and then show it solved. And everybody goes, wow, Mr. Taylor was impressed, our youth director. But when he saw it, he said, you got another cube behind your back. I said, well, you would think, but nope. It's just one cube, pure sleight of hand. Steven Brundage says, well, sometimes people will look behind your back to look for a second cube, but it's only one cube for these routines. Now for the matching them up, you got to do something different. The lecture video doesn't really show you that, but Steven Brundage didn't teach that because he probably figured, well, once you know what you know, you pretty much can figure the rest out. And he's right, because I knew about the dice routine, and then I did it with the Rubik's Cube, and Bob Schofield, KTM motocross biker, born-again Christian, illusionist friend since 1980s, said, hey, that's just like Steven Brundage. You figured it out. I said, yeah, I figured it out. The matching, where you match the pattern on two cubes. I got another cube somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, you get the idea. You just show the cube mix, and you take another one and have it mixed, and then you show that the patterns mix it. The two, you're showing all 6 sides of the cube that they all matched. This cube and this cube, and then you go ahead and well, I know what I'm doing when I do it. Oh, there it is. You can do the wave solve. You just wave it solve like that. That's another one that the kids like, the wave solve. I didn't show that to Ryan Foltz yet, but the children, I've showed that every way and the wave. And sometimes they say, hey, here's my friend, show her the wave. Oh, the wave, okay. Want me to do the wave? Okay, I'll do the wave. Yeah, I gotta give them mine in gear. The wave song, okay, it's mixed. There you go. How do you do that? Steven Brundage said that learn to spin. Sometimes I get it to spin pretty good, and then I added this part to it because once I do the toss-up solve, and then I add my own mix to it, and then I use the Steven Brundage spin, and then I add my little flourish there, and then I go, I'd say I mixed it even more, and then I go like this, and they go, wow, how'd you do that?